Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of IOTA Poet. Today we're going to discuss the huge UAE news in the IOTA ecosystem. We're going to be looking at IOTA's insane price action and volume. What have we got to look forward to potentially keep that pump going? And also just my general thoughts and musings. So stay tuned. And guys, if you've been part of this community for a while now, or if you've been following my videos, drop a comment, because guess what? I want to feel that hype rushing through my veins, boys. Get in there.
Do it! Just do it!
Guys, I'm going to make no apologies. This is not up to my normal standards of editing. So I've just bought a house, I'm very busy in my career, and I've just eaten the spiciest curry in the world, it seems, right now. My stomach is all over the shop. Yeah, I probably only have an hour until I need to hit the toilet. But I felt I had to come on during this period and catch up with you guys. You'll see on the screen, IOTA is currently in the top 3. So we've been saying for a while we want to get IOTA in the top 3. And this week it is in the top 3. Maybe not market cap, but in terms of top gainers, which, hey, if IOTA's in the top 3 for top gainers each week, we're all going to make it. So this isn't just a one-day pump and dump, a random whale moving money about, which that triggers some stop losses. This is a 7-day sustained pump now. Now, do I think this will go on forever? No, of course not. But I think it's starting to show a sort of turn in the tide for IOTA, a new world of bloom and blossom. And I'm not just talking about the Web3 wallet either here. So why the pump, I hear you ask? IOTA announced that it is the first DLT foundation regulated in Abu Dhabi. So basically, if you haven't been aware, IOTA has been working with Abu Dhabi for quite a few months now, probably a lot of 2023, and this is basically the pinnacle of what they've been working on. And they've become the first DLT Foundation, which is this new legal structure they're allowing in Abu Dhabi. And the new IOTA Foundation will be seeded with over 100 million in IOTA tokens to support and accelerate growth. Now, when I tweeted about this earlier, there was one Twitter user who came at me and he kept saying, no, it's not $100 million, it's 100 million IOTA, which of course, one IOTA token is less by quite a bit than $1, so that would mean less of a war chest. But that's not right. I mean, look, if you look at the tweet right here, it says $100 million sign in IOTA tokens. Now, I'm sure that IF will have, they're not just going to make that up. That's how much they're putting in there. And there is some other users who have come back on that and clarified that it is 100 million. And in fact, due to the price pumping, this is probably actually going to be a lot more now. So this is amazing news, and it's basically a new chapter for IOTA. And we'll get onto this a little bit later, but it really does show that IOTA is going to be a mix of the Web3 DeFi space, but also more of the enterprise approach as well. But first, what I really want to get onto is volume, because volume was probably the key factor here behind this pump. I mean, basically this week we have seen the highest weekly IOTA trading volume in history on Binance. That's even higher than 2017. So what is going on here? Now, I don't think we're in a bear market anymore. We've got Bitcoin at 40k, but is it a bull run? Potentially. But is retail really involved? Are your friends, are your relatives, are they all buying crypto right now? No, they're not. No, it's the same $100 that's been moved around within the space for the last 6 months. There's really not that much new cash injection coming in. However, IOTA somehow manages to achieve its highest volume ever. For me, there's something else going on behind the scenes here. Now, somebody pointed out that in South Korea, it was the highest volume there. But I think there's potentially some UAE whales also starting to get involved. Imagine if you're a hedge fund baby from some oil tycoon in UAE and you want to do something different than daddy. You want to invest in cryptocurrency to make your money, and IOTA's the new cryptocurrency in town. Where do you think they're going to put that money? That's all I'm going to say on that topic. Now, I just want to shed some light on a great tweet by our good friend Thomas from the Moonico podcast. you know, and he's obviously hyped right now as well. And he says, look guys, yeah, we're pumping, but there's also some amazing things to come on the horizon in Q4 and Q1, which will hopefully build that momentum like a huge snowball collating in the nice compact snow and rolling down the hill. Okay, I got lost there. The AA bridge for Shima is going to be coming. The EVM, which is absolute key for the IOTA mainnets, coming. We've got RWAs, we've got more UAE news, we've got EBSI or whatever it's called now. I know it's changed its name recently. We've got more governance parties, marketing campaigns. You know, I'm under NDA, but I know there's potentially a new exchange in the works. There's a community growth project, and there's more ecosystem projects to look forward to as well. So there's so much going on right now compared to like a year or two ago, and this is all because of Shima and smart contracts and what's going on behind the scenes of the UAE. Now, I just want to dive into a couple of these points very, very quickly, but the RWA, which is real world assetization, is for me probably the most exciting thing within IOTA. That and the EVM on the mainnet, because, and I just want to just touch on those two things now, because RWA for me is going to be one of the key narratives in the next bull run, guys. If you look at the sort of Twitter space and YouTube space right now, there's a lot of the bigger YouTubers starting to talk about that, and anyone who's been in crypto for at least one bull cycle will know that each bull run there's a narrative, and that narrative pumps, you know, that industry of cryptos. So in the first one that I was involved with in 2017, it was ICOs, and any projects dropping ICOs pumped like crazy. And even IOTA kind of got dragged into that, because even though it didn't do an ICO, it did create new tokens, and people were jumping in after the Microsoft news. And then in the last bull run in 2020, was NFTs and smart contracts, and that was the big narrative. And any project that had smart contracts, any projects such as Solana that had a really strong NFT community, really pumped. And you've seen that with Solana, Avalanche, Nia, and you know, even Ethereum really. So the key thing for me is into each bull run is picking up the narratives and jumping on those early. Now, it could be GameFi, it could be RAs, or it could be some other element, but for me, it's RWAs. Because what that is doing is it's a real world assetization, is extracting value from the real world, and it's bringing it into the crypto space, and that's bringing liquidity to crypto. So imagine gold being assetized on the IOTA mainnet. That would be pretty cool, right? And I think that's where the UAE angle's coming from, because they want to bring these investors to their country. They want to bring business there, and they can then assetize it on this new technology. It's really going to be an upsell for UAE as well. And part of this whole process is the IOTA EVM. And look, I've been sometimes a little controversial in my, not criticism of Shima, but for me, I've always been a bit of an IOTA maxi within the IOTA ecosystem. I've never actually bought Shima, so I've got the Shima that I owned as obviously from staking, but I always add to my IOTA bags, but not Shima, and that's because I, to be honest, believe in the IOTA token more in the future than Shima. And that's just my opinion. You may disagree with me, but I ultimately believe that IOTA will cannibalize Shima, and whilst Shima and the Shima community is really important for IOTA, and I support their projects, I think the token itself, I struggle to see how that has little value. And I've been saying that throughout the last year or so. And look, I've had people straight up say to me they're going to unsubscribe from me because I down-talked Shima in their eyes and I disrespected it or whatever. Which, look, I get it, it's YouTube. People, they get angry if you say something that's even slightly seen as negative on their token. But ultimately, IOTA, once the EVM and smart contracts drop, I really don't see why there has to be this Shima chain, which is like a degen chain, and then IOTA mainnet, which is like where the market adoption comes. Ultimately, you want all that TVL and liquidity in one chain because we basically need that to survive. If we're going to compete with Ethereum and Solana, we need as much TVL concentrated on one chain and much use cases on one chain as possible. So ultimately, just to sort of go back to my main point, it really doesn't surprise me now that IOTA's pumping 100% and Shimmer's pumping like 10%, because IOTA's where the real value is, guys. So that's my thoughts. But anyways, exciting times on the roadmap there. As I said, there's apparently a marketing campaign coming as well and new exchanges. So yeah, let's see what doors are open to the IOTA community. I'm gonna cut it there, but I just want to say, it's been a pretty crazy week for the IOTA community and anyone who follows IOTA. It's great to see IOTA breaking out of its shell, breaking out the bubble into the wider traditional news outlets such as Reuters, which is quite unbelievable. 25 million followers. And there was also various other crypto outlets. And guys, we even seen IOTA get a top post on our cryptocurrency. Now that may seem like absolute nothing, and it is, but for anyone who's been around since 2017 knows that's pretty unheard of. Traditionally, the mods pretty much hate us over there for whatever reason, so it's interesting to see some hype there again. But anyways, sayonara and have a good one.